So before we get into the shoe, let me ask you to like the video and subscribe. I guarantee you're gonna like it. If you don't, you can unsubscribe at the end of this video and unlike it, but do it now. Hi, I'm Thomas with Believe in the Run.
This is Robbe with Believe in the Run.
And this time, it's the Puma Deviate NITRO.
Puma, I mean, when was the last time we heard of a Puma shoe being reviewed on Believe in the Run?
This shoe, if you look closely, you're gonna see it says USM-D-0010. Of these shoes, they numbered them for us. So this is the 10 in the series of the ones that they sent out. So let's get into this shoe, Robbie. It is interesting because we hadn't heard from Puma in a while, and here we come out with this shoe that has a familiar foam.
Okay, yeah, so Nitro, as you might imagine, is an American gladiator. One of, back in the day, shooting tennis balls, dodging them. Speaking of tennis balls, we got a bouncy type of midsole here with the nitrogen-infused midsole.
Where have we seen that before?
We've seen it in things like the Skechers Hyperburst or even the Brooks DNA Flash midsole materials. Does this shoe compare to those other types of supercritical foams or nitrogen-infused foams?
Yeah, and after putting some miles in it, this is one of the more soft versions of it I've had. So it is very soft, and where they make up for that, Robbie, is they're throwing in some plates. You got this thing on the heel that kind of gives it a little bounce, and even with all this stuff, just walking around in it, you do feel a little bit
unstable,
like a little bit wobbly.
Okay.
You're gonna notice in this upper, you're like, deja vu. Where have I seen this before? This upper looks somewhat familiar.
Uh-oh.
What?
I mean, I gotta say, like, even the design, the patterns look almost identical.
This is a Nike Turbo too.
And one of your favorite shoes,
It was. I kept going back to it. So I had big hopes for this one because, hey, this works. Why throw it away? Nike was like, meh. And we're like, wait a second. Looks good, let's use it.
I love the upper on that Turbo 2 last year. Does it fit the same way and lock down the same way?
It does. And it even has a little bit of the problem that some people found with the Turbo, with a little bit of heel slippage. In a plated shoe, you have rigidity built in. So your heel's gonna wanna lift as you're pushing off anyway, so you gotta compensate for that. What I found the problem in this one particularly was I did 3 runs in this so far, varying distances, got my 20 miles in before we review, and I felt a little bit of rubbing on one of the runs from that heel lift going back and forth.
And you don't have much cushion back here either.
No cushion, yeah. I did get a little heel rub, a little hot spot.
So moving on
True to size though.
True to size.
Gusseted tongue.
Gusseted tongue, it does have a gusseted tongue.
Yeah, see, Robbie can't get a word in. Overall, the construction and the lacing and the tongue, it's a good design.
All right, well, let's get into the midsole since that's the nuts and bolts of the shoe. Does it compare, like we said, to those supercritical foams that you've experienced before?
Well, what's great about it is they've kind of done some things differently than some of the other shoes. So you got more rubber coverage. So all this affects this nitrogen midsole because it gives it more structure. Robbie, it's carbon infused, but what is it called?
The plate is called an INNOPLATE. Get it? Like innovate, but INNOPLATE.
And it's Inno shoe. The plate does a good job of keeping it kind of structured. It gives it that toe off that if this foam didn't have that plate in it, it's so soft that it would be like moosh.
It is not a carbon plate, it's a carbon composite plate.
The shoe feels pretty good and can pick up the pace and feels, like I said, well cushioned during the run. My first run in, I was like, ooh, I super love this shoe. Second run, I was like, I like this shoe. Third run, I was kind of like, okay, there's some things that could be improved. And where that is maybe a little bit in the stability of the heel, kind of firming up some of this foam. You've got a lot of stack of this foam. It's not too stable. I think that's an effort to kind of just give you a platform.
By the way, stack height on the shoe is 32 in the heel and 24 in the forefoot for an 8mm drop.
So that is pretty much my wrap up of the shoe's makeup. I do think it's a pretty good shoe. It fits true to size, it's fun to run in, the foam works, the plate gives it some pop. Overall though, I'm glad to see Puma back. I think this is a great start. The only thing that you might want to know left is how much does this sucker weigh, Robbie?
Of course you want to know that. So let's throw it on there. For a men's size 10.5, it's 9.77 ounces, 277 grams.
Here's what I would probably use this shoe for. Everything.
Okay, so daily trainers can pick up with that nitrogen-infused midsole.
It's got the bounce, got the cushion, could go long distance. The only drawback I'd say is if you have a need for stability, this shoe's probably gonna slip on you. But it's definitely, if you wanna get back into Puma and you wanna give it another shot and you love the turbo too, try this baby out.
So this shoe comes out on March 4th, 2021 for $160.
I think you're gonna dig it if you get a chance to try it. If not, I'm very excited that Puma's gonna be coming out with more stuff down the line. This is probably just the beginning. So thanks for watching our review of the Puma Deviate Nitro. And while you're here, and if you didn't already like the video and subscribe to the channel, do it now. Also, check out our new podcast, The Drop, which is available anywhere you get your podcast. Did we just hit 50,000 on Instagram?
We did. So be number 50,000 and whatever comes after that.
Yeah, whatever's available at that point.
I can't count that high.
You can. It just takes a long time. And we have a great Strava group. Interact with our runners all the time. And until then, get ready to watch new videos because we got them coming out all the time.
Just coming out. All right. Take care. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, whatever week it is.
Yeah. Say hi to your mom.
Keep that up and you might find the Holy Grail someday.
Yeah, I've been looking for it with my son here.
Indeed.
I'm going to be drinking out of a monkey skull.